Hey everybody, it's June 30th here in the suburbs of Chicago, and just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on my garden and to see how things are coming along. It is a nice day here, sun's out, and I haven't shown anyone my garden before, so I decided to do it. A lot of people are uploading pictures and videos of their gardens, and I figured I would give an update here just to see how many of you have inspired me to expand and try new things and vegetables and a whole bunch of berries and things that I've never grown before. So I wanted to take you on a little mini tour of my garden here. And in the beginning, I have a lot of the spring vegetables that I've grown. A lot of broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, things of that nature. A lot of it is mostly harvested at this point. You can see here with the broccoli plant that in the middle there, I don't know if you can see it all that well, but I have cut off the main head at this point. I've left the plant in the ground because you see you get these little offshoots that still come in. They're actually pretty good, mostly small, but once those stop, I'll probably be picking the plant and planting something else here, like potatoes or something else that I like. I've also tried Brussels sprouts for the first time this year. They are I don't know if they're doing well. The plant looks really healthy, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of sprouts at this point, so I don't know if those come later or if the plant's just not going to produce any sprouts. So we'll see. I'll have to take a look at that online and see if I can find any more information about it. But otherwise, the plant looks pretty healthy, and hopefully I get some sprouts coming up soon. Over here, you can see I have another broccoli plant, again with the main head cut off, and these are the offshoots. Some of them are going to flower. I really like them adding to salads and other types of things. They give a nice color to whatever I'm eating. So it's you know, again, I leave them on, harvest that, and I'll probably be picking those soon. More Brussels sprout plants, same type of thing. They look very healthy, but you know, no sprouts at this point. Next to this, I have a little bit of a lettuce patch. A lot of it's been harvested, so it looks pretty empty. I actually do have to order more more lettuce seeds online. I'm running out. I sprinkled a bunch over here, and I'm all out at this point. And you can see I have a couple different types of kale there. I've got some red Russian kale, some other types, and then there's a new Siberian kale that I've been growing here for the first time. So it's a little bit smaller than I thought it would be, but you know, I like it. Again, like to add it to salads and other types of things. I have some Swiss chard here. I'm going to be growing more of this. I really like it. I like it when the leaves are really young. This is mostly rainbow chard. I picked a lot yesterday, so the plant looks pretty empty at this point, but you can see down in there there's, you know, new growth starting, so not too concerned about that. Over here I have a lot more lettuce, mostly romaine, red romaine, a whole bunch of different colors. I'm a big salad eater, so I really like having all these different types of lettuce around. I grow probably around 15 different types of lettuce, and like I said, I need to buy more, so I can fill in some of these empty patches of the garden where I've already harvested a lot of the lettuce. As you can see right here, there's a big empty patch where I need to plant some more. Over here I've actually started a strawberry patch. I've grown, these are yellow strawberries. I don't think I have any here that are ripe. I just planted these this year, so I'm not expecting a whole lot of harvest or a whole lot of strawberries coming up, but maybe next year I'll see some more. I'm actually having a little bit of some bug problems with, I shouldn't say bug problems, I think it's like a raccoon or something is eating. You can see over here that they've literally stolen all the strawberries and just kind of eaten off the tops of some of these plants here. So we'll see. I have to figure out a solution for what's eating them. I know it's not you know, bunnies or rabbits or anything, because a little bit before I started this I heard some coyotes howling in the background, and they definitely prevent any rabbits or anything else that comes around here. So I've actually never even seen a rabbit at this house, mostly just because of those coyotes. Up here I have a little bit of a celery patch. This is both celery and celeriac, or rooted celery. I don't know how long it takes the celery to root out and for me to pick the celeriac, the root at the bottom, but you know, it looks like it's doing fairly well. I could probably harvest some of these leaves, and I probably will coming up here soon. I just, you know, like, it looks like parsley a little bit, and you know, it's done well. I grew it last year, and I'm grown it this year, and I'll probably continue to grow it. It works really nice. You get a lot of harvest actually from the celery, so I appreciate that. My feet are making some noise here. It's pretty muddy down in these rows, so definitely have enough water here in Chicago. Down here we have cauliflower. I've harvested some of the other plants. I'm not sure if these are going to head out or not. The other ones have been, like I said, harvested. I've pulled up the plants already. These remaining two, or three actually, it looks like. I'm not sure if they're going to head out or not. So if they don't happen in the next couple weeks, I'll probably just pull the plants and try again this fall. The other ones have headed out already, so I'm not sure if these are going to do it or not. I don't know what's wrong. Same soil, same area. Sometimes I guess you just don't get lucky with all your plants. Over here I have garlic. This is my second year planting garlic, and it was really successful. Here in Chicago you plant it around mid-October, cover the area with leaves, and then probably in late March, early April, you go ahead and uncover all of the leaves, and you start to get the new growth here in the spring. So about, I would say, 2 weeks ago, the plants actually start to put out what they call scapes. So you can see here is I've already gone ahead and cut it. The reason you cut the scapes is it's supposed to make the bulbs bigger. If you leave the scapes on, it actually forms a little miniature garlic bulb at the top, which you could then plant out. But as you know, I simply plant the bulbs that down at the bottom again in the fall. So there's really no reason to have the scape other than they're pretty delicious. I actually pureed them up and made some pesto and add them to pizza sauce and a whole bunch of other things. So you can see that all the scapes are definitely cut, and hopefully be harvesting it pretty soon. As I take a look down here on the bottom, you can see many of them have started to brown on the leaves. And garlic, you actually harvest when the bottom 3 or so leaves are turning brown. So I've got 1, 2 starting to turn brown, but the other ones haven't really started yet. So like I said, probably another week or two. Last year I harvested on the 1st of July, I believe. But last year here in Chicago we did have a very warm spring. It was about 80 degrees in March, and as a result a lot of these springtime crops were much earlier last year than they were this year. So looking forward to harvesting about 70 or 75 heads of garlic this year. As I make my way to the middle, this is my tomato row. I always like my tomato row. It's kind of the best, my favorite row in the garden. And I've got about, I would say 15 or 16 varieties of tomato. A little bit of a weed here. Let me get that. You can see how big some of my weeds get in the garden sometimes. It never ends. But we have a lot of tomatoes here on the end. I've got I think these are green zebras, and you can see one, a couple of them kind of starting right back in there. Got the stripes on them a little bit already, but I think it'll probably be another 3 weeks or so before I start harvesting any of these tomatoes. Some get pretty small, so you can see the green zebras stay relatively small, and then right next door I've got some plants that are, I would say some of these are almost up to I would say 7 feet at this point. They're pretty large. I've had trouble with some of my tomato plants toppling over. These cages that I have are only, I don't know, 4 feet or so, 3.5, 4 feet tall, and clearly not big enough to support the tomatoes. So I actually saw online a pretty neat idea where you take the same tomato cage that you put on the bottom, just turn it upside down. I've got some zip ties here to connect the two, and it allows the tomatoes to still be caged and growing all the way up. So a pretty neat solution. I think it's working so well so far, and if it goes even better, I'll probably do that with every single one of my plants next year. I've got probably half of them with this type of setup here, and it seems to be working well with all the tomato plants. So this zip tie thing is definitely going well. All of these tomato plants are different varieties. I've got about 2 of each variety. So like I said, you do the math, I've got over 30 tomato plants here, and they're all doing very well. Lots of flowers. You can see the flowers up here. Everything's going well. I'm really hoping to harvest here, like I said, in the next three weeks. Some of them are much earlier varieties than others, so like I said, I'll probably be getting tomatoes starting in July through hoping October, depending on frost dates again here in Chicago. So, but anyway, very happy with the tomatoes as I always am. My dad seems to find it amazing that these tomato plants grow really long or grow really tall, and I don't know if it's because they're all heirloom varieties or what, but you know, I'm very happy with not only the size but the amount of tomatoes and flowers coming out from each of them. So that's pretty much my tomato row. Like I said, it's one of my favorite rows, and I really like all the different heirlooms that I grow. Down here, the next row, I've got a few different herbs. Right here is stevia. Stevia is new to me. I've read about it. I haven't tried it yet, but just want to get that weed out of there. I haven't tried it yet, but it's supposed to be sweeter than sugar, sweeter than a lot of things. So I'm gonna let the plant get a little bit taller before I actually start harvesting, and hopefully I'll be having some stevia and a lot of things coming up here. I've got a lot of different cilantro. The leaves actually of cilantro, I didn't know this before, but you can see the leaves down here look very similar to parsley or other types of things. But as you get up and near the top, the leaves become a little bit different, almost look like a carrot top. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I never knew that. So kind of something I learned. I've got some just, you know, common thyme that I'm growing over here. Actually, two different plants. I like thyme mostly in the fall, you know, herbs, braises, braising meats and those sorts of things. Actually, it goes well with stock. I do a lot of my own homemade chicken stock and that sort of thing, and you know, those plants work really well. And then here I've got eggplants. This is my first year trying eggplants. I actually tried growing it last year, but the seeds didn't take very well, so I started it indoors, and it's done pretty well. I had some looks like asparagus beetles before that I killed. They were doing some damage to the plant, but as you can see here at the top, all the new growth is doing fairly well. So I don't know if that's due to me getting rid of those beetles, but I haven't seen them since, and like I said, the new growth seems to be doing well. I've got a couple what looks like flowers down here. I don't know if I can zoom in on that very well, but there we go, a little out of focus. So I've got some new flowers there that'll pop up. I don't know if those turn into eggplant or not, but we'll see. That's kind of the fun of gardening. And then I start to get into my pepper row. As you can see there, this is a shishito pepper. I got them at the farmer's market, and they're starting to flower a bit. So hopefully have some shishito peppers here pretty soon. But again, they're doing well. Over here I do have some more tomato plants. Again, I love tomatoes, so anytime I have starts, I actually start all my tomato plants indoors. I usually have a few left over, and as a result of that, I just throw them in the ground and see where they grow. And I don't have enough tomato cages. I just have these little small red ones. Clearly not enough to keep that tomato plant from, you know, growing well over. So I'm probably going to have some problems with those. But again, if I can get at least a handful of tomatoes out of them, it'll be a success. I'm not really counting on them being the main part of my harvest, but you know, I'll take whatever I can get. And then down here I've got the rest of my pepper plants. I've got about, I think, 15 different varieties of pepper plants, so about 30 plants in total. Again, the way I tend to plant is about 2 of each. I don't know why I do that, but I just you know, tend to go with that approach. So I've got things like habaneros and Chinese 5-color peppers, and you know, a bunch of really cool things. I'm growing ghost peppers as well. I can't remember which of these are the ghost peppers. I think they're the smaller ones down here on the end. And you know, hopefully I get some peppers soon. A lot of them are starting to flower already. So I've gotten some harvest. Actually, the 1st of June was the first time I got my first pepper. So I was pretty impressed, pretty happy with that. But hopefully here again, you know, I'll be harvesting quite a bit soon. I don't have a whole lot of peppers on the plants at this time, a lot of flowers, but it is only the end of June, so I assume that in the later parts of June, etc., so or later parts of July and August, I'll get a lot more peppers. And this is pretty neat here. I never in the past years, let me get a better shot of this, have I been able to get any ladybugs in the garden. And this is actually my first ladybug. I saw one yesterday as well. And you know, again, ladybugs are good for the garden, so it's nice to see that. Nice to see him go. I don't think he likes me. He's up there. He goes. He's flying all over the place. So, but we'll see. Again, ladybugs in the garden, a good thing. This is my first year having them, so I don't know why they're here, but I'm happy that they're here, and hopefully chase away some of the other bugs that I, don't want in my garden. So this is actually one of my favorite pepper plants. I don't think they're the tastiest, but I think they look the neatest. As you can see here, down here at the bottom, there's one yellow, and then as I move up, there's a lot of purple ones, mostly purple in fact. They're called Chinese 5-color pepper plants, and they actually turn 5 different colors on the plant. So if I leave these purple ones here long enough, they actually turn from purple to yellow, I think orange, and then red, and 5 different colors. It's pretty neat. Got some little small peppers down here, almost like sport peppers. It's fun to pickle them, put them on hot dogs, and they act as those little spicy sport peppers that you find on Chicago-style hot dogs that are quite popular. So you get a lot of these, and again, they're great for pickling and eating. Really delicious. More peppers. You can see I've got, I think these are called white albino peppers. I can't remember exactly, but these are the ones that I've been harvesting so far. As you can see, I've got a couple peppers here, a little bit of growth, some more flowers, and I think this is the same plant over here. You can see it's hard with the light, but you can see there's got some more growth, some more peppers growing there. So